Hello, I am Pam and this is my channel Made by Pam. Now I know it's already Saturday, early Saturday or late Friday, but this is hashtag Friday Sews. I already got my kids to bed. I finally finished getting stuff put away and I'm like, I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna get it done because I've been busy all day. Alright, so what am I going to show you first? Well, let's start with the blanket I've been working on. I've got a little bit more done. I worked on it a little bit this week. So it's getting there. Still got more to go though. Quite a bit more to go. So that's what I've been working on there. And then also this week I have another project here that I worked on. It was a commission project. Altering some shirts and some pants because she got them and they were a little bit too long. So, and they're pretty big, but that's okay. We have this, and she just needed like 5 inches cut off the bottom, so I did that. So hopefully it's the size she was expecting. I hope that doesn't end up too short. Oh, I'd feel bad. But I did that on 3 shirts the same way. And then on the bottom hem, that's going to be hard to see. Maybe this one will be easier. Maybe. On the bottom, I did a twin needle. And then it just leaves a little edge there. It wasn't too bad. And then a pair of pants, which she had me remove 4 inches off of. And so basically I undid this bottom section, this little like flounce thing. I undid that, then I cut off the 4 inches, and then I sewed this piece back on. So I did that. I got those done by Thursday. So I worked on them for a couple days. Just because I get busy working on other stuff too. But I've kind of been a busy bee this week. I actually did get accomplished quite a bit. Because these got dropped off to me last Thursday. And she was going to pick them up yesterday, but she didn't get paid. So she didn't have a chance to pick them up. And then some pants that my son needed me to alter. Well, he needed me to fix them, okay? So yes, I stepped out of frame for just a minute. So, they're his coveralls for work. I fixed the back pockets. The sleeve, like this sleeve had a, no it wasn't that, yeah. Oh, it was this one. It had like a rip right along. Like the seam had come undone right at the top. And so I took off the sleeve. So I removed like the damaged piece. And I took a sleeve off another pair because he had 2 other red pairs that I could take parts from. So that's what I did. I borrowed from those to add to these to fix them. And then fixed the crotch seam. I made the crotch seam a little bit like this, little gusset here, a little bit bigger. But I replaced the crotch gusset and fixed a couple wear spots. And, you know, just added like inside patches and stitching to reinforce some of the pockets. So yeah. And then on the other pants, basically I took off the name tags of the other ones, because these are some of his new ones that he got. And he just needed his name tag and the little pieces reattached for his work, because he's in the Navy. So I got that all finished. I did that on 4 pairs, putting the new name tags on, and then this one was trying to repair what was messed up. So I got that done, and I get to drop those off tomorrow. And then another project I did that I finished today. Now my sister's husband needed this fixed for a while. And there was I can't remember exactly what side it was because it looked so good. But anywho, I'd be able to tell if I opened it up and looked at. So it was this side over here. So it was this, the armpit area. Like the stitching for this had come undone. So I stitched it back up. So how I did that, because it has a lining, I unstitched part of the lining enough to squeeze these pieces through and stitch them up, which you can't even tell that there was anything wrong. So I think he'll be pretty pleased with that. And then I got that stitched up, and then I hand stitched a little bit. So I machine stitched most of it. Then I had about that much that I had to hand sew. And if I can make so I have less hand sewing to do, by all means. I'm really not a fan of hand stitching. I know a couple weeks ago, Janet from Today in Jen's Sewing Room was asking a little poll like, do you like to do hand stitching or do you prefer machine stitching? And I don't comment on a lot of videos just because I guess I'm awkward that way because I like to comment on stuff, but it's like the typing out and trying to get the point across and stuff that I'm a little bit awkward, that I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to comment. And that's probably why I don't comment to a lot of my commenters. I read all your comments and I enjoy reading them. It makes me so happy. And I put a thumbs up and I put a heart saying I love the comment and I like the comment. And occasionally I'll respond if it's like a question that I can answer. But usually if it's just a general comment, I don't generally do a reply. And I know I should get better at that. I'm just... Sometimes I think, what do I write? It's like... I don't know. Alright. Well... And then I did one other thing tonight. So that's what was taking me away from doing this. Is because I got this finished, this jacket. And I was sitting there taking a breather, you know, in between taking care of the kids. And my brother calls me. He's like, hey, are you busy? I'm like, not at the moment. What's going on? He's like, well, I need a something sewed up. I tried hand stitching it a couple times and figured it may just be faster to have you stitch it up. Well, it probably wasn't faster to have me stitch it up because I saw that the patch, it wasn't going to cover up a tear in the, like a wear out in the fabric. And so I took what he done apart. He said I could. He said I could unstitch it. and then noticed that the inside, one of the cover things, wasn't fully stitched up. So I was looking at it, I'm like, well, I'm going to take this and unstitch it a little bit more, and then I'm going to stitch on this patch, and then I'm going to go around that other piece. It was like a piece where a inner tube, like little floaty piece was inside. It was like one of those extra pieces, and it would go in the middle, and so I stitched that all the way around. So hopefully it's good enough for him. I had to go above and beyond. I don't always have to do that, but I do. It's like, I'm sorry it took so long. I could tell you what time he had called me, and then he dropped it off. So let me look at my phone real quick. So he called me at like 7 o'clock till 7:15, and he probably had it dropped off by like 7:30, 7:45, because I think they had a wedding to go to. He stopped back by around 9, and so I'd already had it for like an hour, and I didn't have it done. Yeah. So it's a good thing he didn't hang around. I didn't have it done. I was just barely like stitching up the other piece, saying, yep, I noticed some other stuff, and I had to fix it. And so I got that finished, and what was it? Let's see, what time did my husband call? Let's see. Well, it's 28 minutes, and I hung up with my husband just before my brother got here. So it was probably about... So it took my brother about half an hour, so about 7:45 to get here. And then he showed back up around 9, and I didn't have it finished. I felt kind of bad. I'm like, I'm sorry I don't have it done yet. He's like, it's okay. Come back later and get it. And so he messaged me around 11, saying, 11 o'clock at night, saying, I'll just get it in the morning. And so I texted him back. It was about 11:20. I'm like, by the way, it's finished. I finished it. It's done. And so he'll stop by in the morning to pick it up. So yeah. Because they're going to go on the lake in the morning. And he wanted it done so that they could use it. Because they couldn't use it in the current state that it was in. So it's finished for him. I hope it works for him and that I didn't screw it up and he's okay with it. Yeah. Alright, well, what else? A lot. It was a lot to do. You know. Last week I did fix my water heater, and I think I talked about that. I got these things done. I still don't have my craft room. Obviously, I'm still up here. I don't have my craft room back in usable order yet. Now, I bought some like wire shelves. I think I showed you that on my last video. I can show you again. But I bought some like wire cube shelves, and I was going to, well, I did kind of put it together. And then kind of had second thoughts. I'm like, how am I going to make this work in this craft room? And then I think about it. I'm like, but I've got to make it work. I've got to do something different in there than what I currently have. Because what I currently have in there, it's not working as well as it possibly could. So this is the wire shelving unit that I picked up, that I got delivered. I And granted, you can see with the pictures that they're not as they're not keeping a lot of stuff on there. And I was reading on one of the things that to not, so it says it's a site and structure designed with strength and steel frame to keep the structure solid and stable. And it says designed with the strength and steel wire panels at the bottom of each cube. Yeah, except the bottom layer, which, yeah, and I just, so on one of them it was saying it's best to not keep things in there at a long term, but my usage of this is going to be having, like, it says it can hold up to 35 pounds. Well, I press my hand on it and it sinks in, like the wires. I'm like, is this going to be beneficial? Is this going to hold up to what I want it to hold up to? Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my daughter came in to talk to me and I had to talk to her. Jeez. Interruptions. So, still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to use those wire shelves, those cube shelves. I think it would be good for organization, but just trying to figure out how to organize it in my craft space. I struggle with that, I tell you. But I'll figure it out. I will. So, well, and then one of the wire shelves, the spot weld on the shelf piece came undone. So that was a little bit concerning that it came undone. So I was like, well, I don't know. I'll see what happens. I was going to try to return it. I had contacted the company to let them know that there was a defective item. But, and thinking about it, that maybe I just shouldn't return it. Maybe I should just make it work and see if I can make this work. But then sometimes I think it would have been better just to build a wooden cube shelf unit to make it work. But then trying to figure out the ins and outs of that. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm still trying to work it out in my mind, what I want to do. But yeah. So, there's that. But yeah, so it's going okay. You know. I haven't been watching a whole lot of the YouTube friends lately. I watch a couple videos here and there. Now this week I also did I've watched a lot of videos about tubal removal for women because my daughter wants her tubes removed when she has her baby. And she plans on doing a C-section. Just because of the whole situation, that it might make it better depending on whether or not she dilates like she should. And she's thinking about that now because she only has like a month and a half left to go, and so she wants to make sure that she has all of her bases covered. But if she does end up doing a C-section, she wants to have her tubes removed And she was under the impression that if she had them removed, that she wouldn't have her cycles anymore. And all the information I watched, and it doesn't take the cycles away, it doesn't stop the cramping, and it may cause more side effects than what she wants. But she doesn't want to have any more kids. This is going to be her final one, and her hormones are already messed up as it is, the depression and the anxiety and all that other stuff. So is it going to make it worse? Is it going to make it better? I don't know. Is she going to down spiral because she knows that she took all that away? Or is it going to actually cheer her up knowing that this is her one child and she definitely won't have any more because she doesn't want any more? And I totally understand that. My daughter-in-law, my son's wife, doesn't want any more either. She's also due in about a month and a half, so 2 months. And she's not going to have any more either, and so she is also getting her tubes removed to take care of that situation. So yeah, so just 3 grandkids. That's all I'm going to have for a while, which is really cool. I'm so excited for that. Because my other youngest is 13, and I don't need any more kids for a long time. Well, that's my other oldest, and then my youngest is 6, and so he definitely doesn't need any for a while. So yeah, alright, well, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and stay creative, and until next time, bye now.